What's up, everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's SPIDERTIFF, and today we are going to be talking about Five Nights at Freddy's. I had the chance on Friday to go check this movie out in theaters. Now, I want to talk about this movie as a review per se, which I've actually never done for this channel, and I'm a complete outsider to the Five Nights at Freddy's video game. I had originally seen the trailer. I knew it was Josh Hutcherson. I was like, I'm in. I'm going in. Plus, hear me out. I love Matthew Lillard. He was amazing in 13 Ghosts. He was amazing in Scooby-Doo, amazing in Scream. Matthew Lillard is a staple to the horror community, and I am a total fan. Actually, I think when I was younger, I probably had a crush on him, especially after seeing him in 13 Ghosts and Scream. So let me take you into the theater itself. And we got there, and I didn't take the 7 o'clock showing because usually the 7:30, any of those showings are so insanely packed. I picked a little bit later one, granted, still prime time, 8 p.m. I get into the theater, I grab my popcorn, medium popcorn, because I'm kind of a sucker for popcorns. As the theater started to fill in, I realized what I was in store for. And shout out to everyone that came dressed as a security guard. I was a little jealous. Everyone was taking pictures, everyone was laughing, having fun. And then the entire maybe 7th and 8th grade population of a local school showed up with maybe 1 or 2 chaperones for them. And I was like, oh, yes, I knew this story is really, really popular with children. They've been waiting to play this game. Granted, if you guys aren't familiar with this, which you probably are if you're watching this, the game that this is based on, the series debuted in 2014. So if you're a kid and you want to play a spooky game, like for me back in the day, that was Resident Evil 2. That was my first foray in the horror genre. And now I'm obsessed with Resident Evil. I'm completely biased to it, and I will support any film, TV adaptation of that nature for Resident Evil. I'm biased. So the kids come in, it's super loud, everyone's screaming, the movie starts. We are not going to be silent. I'm going to have to rewatch this movie on Peacock, by the way, because I need to give it another shot. Within 3 seconds, our entire audience of the theater are erupting after just a sound alteration, not even a real jump scare. And I was like, all right, I'm in for it. My husband was like, I kind of want to leave. Like, I don't want to deal with this. So I was like, you know what? We'll stick it out. We'll go through it. So that kind of put a little damper into me actually watching and getting engrossed into the video, which was mediocre at best. And trust me, it was not because the animatronics were stellar. Josh Hutcherson was stellar. Matthew Lillard was stellar. Vanessa's character, she did so good on the acting, but that's where things started to get a little weird for me. And I'll take it from the beginning because we're watching it. We see, obviously, heads up, if you haven't seen the movie, go see it yet before you watch this, because I'm just going to talk all kinds of different things. You start with the initial security guard that is at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, and you see him get attacked. I don't remember if they actually showed what attacked him. I think they showed the shadow. He's up against the door, can't get out, yada, yada, yada. Then he wakes up in a chair. The thing is coming down on him, which is super cool, but then they cut away from it. Granted, yes, PG-13. I respect the decision for giving it a PG-13 rating as opposed to a rated R, because it did provide service for a lot of those younger fans to get into the theaters and watch this film, which, by the way, the audience score is 89%, where the Rotten Tomato is 25%. So that goes to show you some things. It's a lot of fan service for the genre itself. So we go through it. Then obviously you kind of have your deadbeat persona, has a younger sister who at first I thought was a daughter. Josh Hutcherson's character, I thought that was his daughter. No, younger sister. He is basically down on his luck, can't keep jobs, is clearly fighting some internal demons. You later find out that it's because his brother went missing when his family and them were out camping. Granted, he was supposed to be watching his brother, looks away for 2 seconds. Next thing you know, brother's gone. We don't know who the man was that took him, so he thinks he doesn't know who the man who took him. His family, essentially, years down the line, falls apart. They cannot grieve with that mess. It breaks up the family. Josh is now paying that lifelong sentence for having to deal with that. So anyways, he loses yet another job, goes to a career counselor, looks to get a new job, and from there, that's where you see Matthew Lillard's character. He is the career counselor, and basically I thought something was up with this man right off the get-go. And as soon as this didn't connect until later into the movie, but this was one of the best foreshadowing events that I could say happened in the movie, because the entire movie was kind of a shell on what I wanted it to be. It was not necessarily married to the horror genre. There really weren't a ton of gruesome scenes, not a lot of jump scares in my eyes, but then the plot itself wasn't necessarily amazing either. I felt like there were a lot of holes, and they tried so hard to adapt the video game to a movie that it didn't necessarily meet either horror or good writing. So that is my biggest flaw with the movie itself. And That's okay. That's okay. It's the first iteration of it. That's all right. We get a sequel, hopefully. I mean, it's performed incredibly well. It had a $25 million budget, and just on Friday alone, they knocked out $39.4 million on opening night box office. So huge. Needless to say, I think it's a success and we should get a sequel. But until then, let's go back to where we started. Sus career counselor asking Josh Hutcherson's carrier if he would like to work as a night guard, a security officer at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. So basically that's what happens. He's like, nah, I don't work nights. You know, he's got some custody issues going on with his local sister. So he's like, I'm going to go ahead and eventually take that job, goes to it. Now here's where things get messy. First off, the career counselor looks at his name and he's like, oh, that's your last name. That's weird. I'm walking around sus, right? I should have known something was a little weird by then, because he was like, oh, great. When he called back to accept the job, yes, of course it's still available. Do you want it? Like, okay, sus man. I should have known. Anyone else probably could have read that, but me. It took me a while, okay? I get it. So anyways, go forward. He's the security guard. Things start happening that's super weird. Well, then Vanessa's character, she's a cop. And I was thinking about this as someone that was looking to adapt the video games to a theatrical release, because she was originally the security guard in one of the video games. How else would she be in the building at night? That's the whole point of it. He has to be the lone security guard watching over the building. But of course, Vanessa's character, a cop, respectable, right? But her writing was so flawed. At one point in time, she's like, I've tried to warn you in my own ways. And I'm like, bro, no, you didn't. You tried, but it was weird. It came across so weird. Maybe I'm just one of those people that's like, lay it on the line. Tell me why this is weird. You know so much about this place, yet for all the reasons in the world, you're not physically giving him the answers that he needs. Like, you casually know where everything is. Now, granted, of course, she's the guy's daughter. Like, she was the owner's daughter. Of course, like, we get it now. But I feel like it was just too surface level. I don't think the writing was good enough. And needless to say, there were a lot of things that I did not realize. Like, the theater recognized Matt Pat within like a 0.03 seconds. The entire theater erupts when he comes on stage. People are cheering, people are screaming, people are laughing, people are cheering and screaming for the taxi driver. I still don't know why. So that's on me for not knowing. My bad. I will go next. I'm going to rewatch the movie after I play the video games, because then I will be more than prepared to tackle it. As someone who doesn't know the series, but is very appreciative of it, I just wish it would have either A, been a little more gruesome, B, been a little more storytelling, because we have this whole Scooby-Doo effect of these kids going missing back in the 80s. Vanessa knew them. It connected at the end, but not as nicely as I would have liked it. I wanted to see, maybe with the kids going missing, maybe some flashback scenes to initially how that happened. And now my questions are, where is Garrett? Because the same guy took him, essentially. Where is the animatronic that is missing an ear? Never saw him again. But it was kind of cute that the ghost kids did want to bring her on. Like, I respect that. The ghost kids are lonely, man. They didn't deserve what happened to them. They just wanted some new friends. And unfortunately, homie, in his little flashback, decides to give his sister up and then realizes he made a mistake. I don't know. I need to go watch this again and reanalyze it. But that was my first overarching take. If I had to rate it after my massive brain dump on here, 3 out of 10. From a horror aspect, I wanted it to be more gruesome. The moment that girl got chopped in half from chasing that kid into the animatronic, bro, I need more. So from a horror genre, 3 out of 10. From respecting the video game community and liking the story as a whole, but being kind of foreign to it, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. So that would be like more of my audience score, but my actual like horror game, horror movie vibe, it just missed the mark for me. I'm actually embarrassed to say that I didn't know enough about the movie. With that being said, leave a comment down below. Motivate me to go play the games, because I'm going to go buy them on Steam right now. I'll probably play them at some point this week, because Halloween, we love spooks, and I guarantee the games are going to be horrifying. But thank you so much for watching. If you made it through this entirety of a brain dump, I appreciate you. You're amazing. I hope you have an amazing Halloween. I hope you have a great day. See you guys later.